It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
We saw some pictures of President Biden. He's back at the beach. Kamala Harris is all over the place. So who's running the country at such a crazy time? Well, joining us now to talk about all of this is Miranda Devine, the great columnist there at the New York Post. Miranda, who's in charge? It seems like the world's on fire. And everyone's wondering, really, who truly is running America and essentially running the free world?
Well, Rita, look, that's the $64,000 question. I think everybody wants answered. We have not seen Joe Biden for, almost a month. He's been goofing off. And we just aren't told anything by the White House. They're not telling us when he's going to be back. We know because the FAA's no-fly zone is made available to pilots ahead of time. So what we do know is that he's in Rehoboth Beach at his beach house until Tuesday. That will be 9 days there after another 7 days at Santa Barbara at another billionaire's home. It's all very well to have a vacation, but he seems to have completely checked out. And Kamala Harris is too busy campaigning and appearing on 18-minute interviews on CNN as her only tiny little glimpse of scrutiny. So there's somebody doing something, I suppose, but it's very worrying because our adversaries are seeing the same vacancy at the White House that we can see.
Yeah, that's all I think about with all the stuff going on in the world. Ed Cox.
Where's Al Haig when you need him? Look, if the president is really,
we all like that one, right, Cub?
Yeah, that was great.
That was a good
the vice president should be there. she's the next person, and she's not doing anything. The national security advisors over in China. Where's the Secretary of State?
So who's in charge?
That's
it's just crazy.
It's really, Joe Biden's been a pretty backseat president, I think. We knew before he even began that he had cognitive issues, and his decisions, such as, for example, because it's the third anniversary this week, the withdrawal from Afghanistan was totally botched, and that's because he just had these absurd demands of the military and completely ignored their objections. And Kamala Harris was with him, staunchly defending him and backing him up all the way. So neither of them has good judgment. And I think Joe Biden's been on vacation. I think it's more than any other president in history. He certainly was the least accessible president, just didn't trust himself to even do a softball Super Bowl interview. And unfortunately, Kamala Harris, although she doesn't have his age-related cognitive problems, she's just as shy, if not more shy, of doing media or press conferences or debates. She's been agonizing over how to do this one interview in over a month since she announced her candidacy. And the debate, she's toing and froing and vacillating about the rules of that, even though Donald Trump said we already made the decision at the beginning that we're just going to keep the same rules we had with the last debate with Joe Biden. That's just straightforward. That's what a commander-in-chief does. Make a decision, move on. Whereas she is like toing and froing and agonizing and vacillating. It doesn't bode well.
Yeah. What do you think the chances that maybe she won't do a debate? Especially if we're hearing is that it only came out to like 18 minutes, this interview, and she had Tim Walz by her side. Maybe her handlers are going to say, let's kind of figure out a way to get out of the debate if it is that bad.
Oh, I'm sure they would like to because, as long as her polls are drifting up, although there's some sign that there's another poll out today from Nate Silver saying that Trump's pulled ahead. But a Fox poll yesterday showed that she was doing well or better in the battleground states. So as long as the euphoria continues and the energy and so-called momentum and so-called joy continues, I think she'll just keep on hiding from any scrutiny, and that would include the debate, which would be the biggest high wire act and biggest risk for her, because as we've seen, whenever she does anything unscripted, like she did yesterday in that bizarre appearance before some high school kids, she just is no good. She seems like she's, I don't know, high or nuts or something. It's not a normal way for an adult person to behave.
Has a lot of joy.
Yeah, exactly. Joy. Ed, real quick.
Yeah, I don't know how the politics of joy works when 2/3 of the country that's living paycheck to paycheck, their paychecks are worth between 5% and 15% less.
Yeah, they don't feel any joy
just
at
doesn't
that point.
work. No, there's no joy.
Yeah, no joy there. Miranda, thank you.
No joy in Mudville.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you
Miranda,
so much, Miranda.
much.